Hi guys, welcome to AndroGuider. So in this video we will be checking out Nitrogen OS. So this ROM is based on the latest maintenance release of Nougat, which is 7.1.2. The ROM also packs in the latest security patch as well, which is May 5, 2017 one. This is an official nightly build of the ROM for the Redmi Note 3, and this is today's build itself. And the ROM also has its own OTA updater. So you can make out that it is this is today's nightly build, and in case you want wish to view the change log, then you can do that from in here as well. Yeah. Okay, so we will be moving on to the settings which the room packs in. So under personalizations we have the status bar settings first up, then status bar items. So from in here you can enable or disable any icon which you don't wish to be shown in the status bar. So say if I just wish to disable the Wi-Fi icon, then I can just check this off and it disappears. Enabling it will reappear. And similarly you can do the same for VOLT, and we also have this headset icon in. So if you want, in case you want to show that headset icon, you can do that. Then we have the clock and date settings. You can configure the position of the clock, right, center, or left. Then you can show the AM PM styles as well. This the normal one, this the small one. Then you can do similar configurations with the date. This the small, and this is the normal one. Then you have got some date styles. Again, this is the normal one, this is the lowercase one, and this is the uppercase one. Then we have a bunch of date formats. So this is what we have, and then you can configure the position of the date, left of time or right of time. Then next up we have the battery settings. You can configure the battery icon style. We have the portrait one, landscape, circle. Again, very quickly, if you just want to have a look, big circle, then full circle, or only the text. It's just up to you how you want to go about it. Then if you want to show the battery tile style, you can in fact even customize that. Portrait icon, landscape, circle, big circle. This is the this is the icon we are talking about. And then if you want to show or hide the battery percentage, you can do that inside the icon or next to the icon. uh, okay. um I just want to see whether click on inside the icon, that makes changes in here as well in the quick settings toggle. Then you can set the battery bar icon color when it's charging, and then we have got a nice color picker in here. So you can choose any color of your choice from this sliding color panel on the right edge, or you can and then you can tweak the shade as per your choice, or you can choose from the preset color values given. Then if you want to show the battery percentage text while it's charging, you can do that. And then if you want to have that charging symbol in, then you can do that. We have got those two options, flash and tilt. um, then we have the network traffic settings. So you can enable either the outgoing one, incoming, or both the outgoing and incoming data rate exchanges. Then you can configure the display unit, bits per second or bytes per second, update interval. Then you can hide the network, hide the arrows from the traffic indicators. You can make out the settings, make out the differences from in here. And then if you just want to hide the network arrows when there's no data exchange going on, you can do that. And for that you can tweak the inactivity threshold. So when the data rate exchange is below 10 kbs per second, the network traffic indicators will be hidden automatically. Then we have the carrier label settings. You can show the carrier label either on the lock screen, status bar, or on both of them. Then you can enter a custom carrier label text as well. Then we have the custom header image. um, and as I have mentioned many a times before, the dynamic header pack, the dynamic header images change throughout the day. So there would be a different header image, say in the morning, then in the afternoon, evening, night, stuff like that. And we will take a look at the header images which we have, and the static images. The static images will remain stagnant throughout the day. That's what static is. And we have got a bunch of header packs to choose from. We have got nature, nitrogen, patterns, skewed, wavy, so a bunch of them. And just in case, obviously you can select any. Maybe if I select nature, you can see that it's maybe it's showing the evening one. So, and if we select static, then obviously we can just go in there, and then we can just browse the pre-installed headers. So okay, so these are the header images under the default pack. And say if I just wish to set the noon one as the static header, then all I need to do is just long press on this, and there you can see that the header image has been set. And I'll just let you guys quickly have a look at all the header images under all the packs. So this is what we had under the normal pack, under the default pack, sorry. Then the nature one, bunch of options in here. Also some really great images, and this is the nitrogen header image pack. So again, they have got a great collection here: Christmas, Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve. You know, then patterns. Again, a ton of options. Screwed one, and lastly, if you want to take a look at the wavy one, so this is kind of like an art design. Okay, so that's all what we have in here. Then moving on, you can configure the header image shadow. Then you can enable or disable brightness control, selector notification, and if you want to show the battery status of a connected Bluetooth device, then you can enable or disable this option. Then next up, you have the quick settings. So you can enable the small quick settings tiles count. Currently we have about six. You can just tweak them to three, or the maximum value is eight. Then you can enable or disable quick pull down, smart pull down. Then we have if you want to show quick settings panel on the lock screen, then you can just enable this option. Or sorry, if you don't want the quick settings panel to be shown on the lock screen, then you can enable this option. Then we have got the brightness slider. If you want to show that icon, if you want to show the brightness slider in the quick settings panel, then you can uh, enable this option. Or if you just disable this, then that uh, brightness slider will get hidden. Then similarly, you can do that for the brightness icon. And then we have the Wi-Fi easy and the Bluetooth easy toggle. And then if you want to enable or disable the advanced data tile, that you can do as well. Moving on, we have the button settings. Okay, before I forget, let's quickly take a look at the quick setting tiles which Nitrogen OS provides us with. So these are the tiles which are enabled by default. And additionally, for the Redmi Note 3 users, the ROM does include both BOLT packages as well as the Vulkan API. So if so the Vulkan API just makes a few more games compatible with our phone. So if that helps, then you can definitely go ahead with this ROM. And these are the tiles which you can add on. So caffeine is there, and yeah. Then there's also this one more thing. When you will install the ROM, you will have to update the Superuser binary. And another thing which I would like to mention for specifically for the Redmi Note 3 users, I have been trying the 12th of May. This is the 12th May nightly build, and while I was flashing this. After flashing this build, my phone ended up in a boot loop. I had done a clean flash, and the phone then got stuck in a boot loop. So to get out of that boot loop, I had to flash a custom kernel. I flashed the latest build of Franco's kernel, and that is how I got the device just to boot up. And that's why I just can't tell you what the SC Linux status or the stock kernel is. And this is not just the problem with the with Nitrogen OS, that it ended up in a boot loop after a clean flash. I have had experienced this very same problem with the recent builds of I tried out AICP Resurrection Remix, and all the various ROMs which we had we had regular builds of the nightly builds. So you know all of them got stuck in a boot loop, and to just get out of that boot loop, I had to flash a custom kernel. So moving on, we have the button settings. Now from in here, you can enable or disable the volume key cursor control, to move the cursor while you are typing. Then volume rock or wake, if you can enable or disable that. Then playback control is in there. You can enable or disable the volume key orientation when the device is rotated. Then volume keys control media volume instead of the ringtone one. Then volume down for the do not disturb mode. Then do not disturb switch. If you just enable this quickly. You can see that do not disturb sign in here. I'll just turn that off. Then volume up key, volume keys to answer the call. Then you can configure the, if you want to, then you can disable the hardware keys, and customize that backlight timeout. And then you can you have a bunch of short press, long press, and double tap actions for all the hardware keys which the phone has. And just quickly, if you want to just take a look at the custom actions which we have in here. So this is basically Nitrogen OS also has the Dirty Unicorns interface package. 100 mode is included in there, just for you guys to know. Um, so the ROM comes in with the Dirty Unicorns interface package, and so we have all those. We can customize. We can select the custom action, or the if you want to even launch an application by by a long pressing or double tapping, then you can even launch an application. In fact, activities, application, contacts, you can do anything. And just this just comes in handy if you are an avid tasker user like me. Then you can even customize those buttons to launch some tasker profiles. Then we have the navigation bar settings, and as I had mentioned, this ROM comes in with the Dirty Unicorns interface package. We will just be talking about that. Before that, we have you can force show the navigation bar on the bottom side of the device when the device is rotated to 270 degrees. So again, I haven't come across this option many in many rooms. Last I think I had seen this option was in Cyanide, to place the navigation bar on the bottom edge of the screen when it is in the landscape mode. So so definitely this is a nice inclusion which we have in here. Then you can enable or disable the dynamic navigation bar color, which will make the navigation bar color match with the primary color of the app. So again, just if you want to just quickly take a look at that, go to settings, uh, personalizations, and then, but you can see, you can make out the navigation bar color has changed. Sorry, go to navigation bar. Yeah. Then you can configure from smart bar or fling. Again, I won't be covering that up because it's too basic. I have covered up navigation, both pulse as well as pulse, smart bar and fling ton of times. Again, we know we have pulse at the bottom, and then you can customize the portrait height and the landscape height in the end. um, then we have the gestures. You have the AOSP gestures. So double tap the camera to double tap the power key to launch the camera. That gesture was in there. Then we have double tap to sleep on the status bar, and double tap on the top third. So this is not double tap anywhere on the lock screen. This is double tap to sleep only on the either the top third portion of the lock screen or the bottom shortcut region. um, then we have the lock screen tweaks. So you can customize the bottom lock screen shortcuts. Then we also have the weather settings in here. If you want to enable or disable the weather settings, then you can do that. You can even customize the icon back. We only have one option in here. If you want to show or hide the location, you can do that. And service settings, I'll just enable the location. You will have to set it to high accuracy for it to actually detect your location. And you can then configure the update interval, 1 hours to 12 hours. Then you can even configure the weather provider, open weather map or Yahoo, then metric unit and custom location. If you want to enable that, I'll just quickly key in Delhi. Well, yeah, so just lock, and there we go, we have the weather. And yeah, I had tested this, and both Yahoo weather map and open weather map, both of them work fine. So again, if you just quickly want to have a look once again, yeah, so both of them are working fine. um, then going back, you can even hide the weather panel if you want to. Then we have the option to for the lock, you can custom configure the lock screen clock font. The lock screen torch is in there, rotate the lock screen media cover art, and then if you want to enable or disable the charging info, there is an option for that as well. Power settings, power menu settings, a bunch of options in here. So I think I will enable the bunch of them. And then at the top you have that setting for enabling or disabling the power menu on the lock screen. And this is how the power menu looks like. So one of the new settings in here, I think I haven't come across actually users in many custom rooms. I don't think I have seen this option. I might be wrong, but I think I haven't actually seen the users tile in the power menu. So yeah, I think it's nice to have that extra feature in. Then recent app settings, you can have immersive recents. You can configure full screen, or if you want to show only the navigation bar and hide the status bar, and then show only the status bar and hide the navigation bar. You can make that out. um and then if you want to hide any apps from the recent app section, you can do that. We have the clear all button, and we get the 6 location pack for to tweak its location. Then you can even show the memory bar, and then as an alternative we have the slim recents. Then notification settings, you can obviously heads up notification, you can tweak that. Power notification controls. Then we have the configurations for the battery LED and the notification one as well. Then we have force expanded notifications, show notification count, do not disturb mode, and then we have a bunch of in-call vibration settings. Moving on to the miscellaneous settings, you get wake lock blocker, alarm blocker, and then suspend actions. This is something which comes into the act when the screen turns off. So these are some battery saving settings which are nice to see in. You can switch to 2G, disable mobile data, disable GPS. So this will basically increase that deep sleep time, and so there will be less strain when your device is idle, and that will in turn end up extending your battery life. Then you can configure the screenshot types, take full screenshots, or drag the selection on the area you want to take as a screenshot. Again, I'll just test this feature out quickly, and there we go. You will have to. Okay, yeah, so yeah. Actually, I had been trying in some rooms. I had tried out one of AICP's build last night, and I don't know why, but in that room, the partial screenshot was not working. So yeah, I just thought of testing it out, and I don't know why this shows that 46 years. I don't know what the heck is it. Anyways, moving on. Then we have MTB, enable MTB instead of charging. After you have connected the USB cable, then wake up on charge and allow signature spoofing. Again, I don't think actually that I have come across this setting in other rooms. So again, Nitrogen OS has some great stuff about it. Then app ops, obviously I have done a detailed tutorial on that, maybe a 15 or 20-minute video on how you can use app ops or privacy guard as a permission, as a tool to combat malicious apps, as well as on how you can use it to extend your battery life. Then for you root management, we have Superuser, and as I had told you, you will have to update the Superuser binary. Let's see. Let's go to settings, and you can also configure that apps only, apps and ADB. So again, bunch of settings in here. I know, it had requested that update, but I know what's the problem. Let's see. No, I don't know. Okay. uh Okay, moving on. Then we have the display settings. Night light is in there. Then you can tweak the smallest width attribute to customize the device DPI. Then we have the ambient display settings. Then we have got double tap to wake on doors. Require a simple double tap to activate the ambient display. Again, I haven't actually come across the settings in many rooms. So yeah, Nitrogen OS have added their own taste on different configurations, and they have further enhanced them, I would say. Then if you want to override defaults, then you can customize the fade in time mode, visible duration, fade out, and the brightness level. So bunch of tweaks in there. Then sleep time mode settings, maximum is 30 minutes once again. Then expanded desktop display size, again you can customize all that. The 180 degrees rotation is in here, and the lock screen rotation was back in the personalizations. Then we have got the screen dashboard, the settings, dashboard settings. um then sound settings, volume steps is in here, uh, and then under other sounds, we have got the dial pad tone, screenshot sound, camera shutter, screen locking, charging sounds, charging vibrations, torch sound, and vibrate on tap. So a bunch of options in here as well. Battery, again, you can just turn it on automatically, and we have got a bunch of options in here: 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25%. uh, then users, and I have been making a point to mention this in each and every ROM review which I do, Nougat based ROM review, that just making sure that you enter this emergency information under the users section. So this option is located under users. So just make sure, God forbid, if you ever run into any mishap, or if something happens to you, and if you have secured your device with a fingerprint or a pin or a pattern lock, or anything of that sort, then this emergency information can be viewed by anyone who tries to contact your loved ones, and they can view even this information on a locked screen, on a secured lock screen. So just make sure that you fill this up, add your contacts, fill up the necessary info in here, so it's better for your own safety. So just make sure that you fill this up, and then under security settings, unknown sources is enabled by default. Yeah, that's all what we have in here. And settings, if you just, we only have lock screen message in here, and obviously you have got all the types of screen locks. um then lastly, we have got the developer options. So cool color temperature, in case you want to enable that. Then USB debugging is checked in by default, so again, that's great to see. You can configure the mock location app. And then if you use a beta build of Substratum, then make sure you just check in this option, because it again comes in handy to authorize the installation of themes. Then we have got a bunch of Wi-Fi and mobile data settings. Then we have the animation settings, again, that smallest width attribute, again, that is present in here as well. Then we have the GPU settings, and then if you just want to save up on some part of your internal storage, make sure you just enable this option to write the apps onto the external memory, external SD card, so that you can save up on some of your internal storage. And in the end, you can change the device host name. Again, this is one of those settings which I have been coming across in a lot of Nougat based rooms lately. Then again, we have got a calculator app, a calendar app, a camera. The room has we have the snap camera in here. Again, it's and it has a great bunch of settings. um then we do get an equalizer in as well. In fact, an email app is in there too, so you can configure the audio output of the speakers, headphones, and the Bluetooth. And if you use any Bluetooth headset, so you can even customize its audio output. Then obviously, I have mentioned this many times, the stock file browser. It allows you to open archived files, as well as it also allows you to install APK files directly uh, through the stock file browser itself. Again, you can see that we can install the the APK files directly through a stock browser, and uh, we can also uh, view archived files like .zip files, stuff like that. And then we also have an FM radio. We have a gallery application. The I think this is the Apollo Music Player, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And then if you just want to quickly view the settings, so you can view the artists, albums, songs, playlists, and last added, recently played, top tracks. Shuffle all, new playlist, settings, show the song lyrics, shake to play the next song, lock screen, album art. So yeah, if you are looking for that option, then it is present in here. uh, yeah, and that pretty much sums up the music app. And lastly, I would just like to draw your attention to the gallery app. So the gallery has a really very nice color picker in. Oh, sorry, it has a really nice editing layout, I meant to say. Okay, so you can share the image, view its info, delete it, or then you can also configure the slideshow, or rotate it, crop it. Then the edit layout, you can we have got a bunch of filters in here. uh, then you can add different frames. You can crop it, straighten it, rotate it, mirror effect, or draw anything. You can also tweak that color, size, color, style. So a lot of options in here. Anything of your choice, you can do that. uh, and then in the end you can tweak the exposure value. So I guess then you can view the albums, locations, times, type. You can group everything accordingly. Settings, if you just want to have a quick look, show in random order, repeat, delay time. Well, so yeah, I guess this pretty much summed up this ROM review. So in case you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and in case you want to get a notification in whenever we upload our future videos, so do hit that subscribe button as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, before I forget, lastly, the stock launcher has only one setting, which is to enable or disable the home screen rotation. Wallpapers, yeah, the room has a bunch of them. um okay, yeah. I don't know how I forgot to show you guys these, but yeah, they've got a pretty nice collection of wallpapers in. In fact, this is the prettiest collection which I have seen in any room. In fact, Exodus room, you know, great wallpapers reminds me of Exodus as well. They had a test build of for their Redmi Note 3. One of the main developers of the room had released one today itself. I will be trying that out soon, and I will also do a review on that later on. Also, obviously, you can see that we have got a great collection of wallpapers in. Yeah, so, and then in the end, as I told you, you can enable or disable that home screen rotation. Okay, and widgets. We have got the OmniJaws one. So in case you want to get a detailed weather info, you can configure that. Okay, and if you want to view weather of several days ahead, you can get this widget. So yeah, this wraps up this ROM review. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.